What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Wiley Show. This is a Saturday edition of the Wiley Show. I'm excited. Saturday. All right. We did the pre-show on Stationhead, which I enjoyed. Now we're on YouTube, which I'm gonna have an amazing good time. We back. We got a lot of subjects to get into. So let's start with the show. First and foremost, I want to say this is going to be an iconic show. So we got to bring Mayor Eric Adams back on the docket right now because it's very important to get him on the show again because he did an interview with Angela Yee and he said that he's innocent of the accusations, the allegations against him with this woman. He said he don't know this woman. He's a man of integrity. He loved women, support women. He would never harm women. And this person filed a lawsuit on the last day that the law was going to run out. And I've said it publicly that the mayor of New York is innocent. I got a lot of pushback from it, and I stand on it. Anybody that filed a lawsuit back 30, 40 years, don't believe them because it's difficult. I believe we should not believe them instantly. We should do our due diligence. But I do give it an ultimate side eye if you wait in the 20th century and we're in the 21st century and you want to file this. So I am happy that Mayor Eric Adams have done interview with Angela Yee, and I know he's innocent. I feel it in my bone. I feel it in my spirit that he's innocent. This person is nothing but a tool to try to take down a successful Black politician. And anytime that you are a Black politician in one of the largest cities in the world, you automatically fall victim to false accusations. And a scripture said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It didn't say the weapon wasn't going to form. And so this is what's going on with Mayor Adams. He is dealing with false, evil, wicked spirits trying to get him off his A game. They want him to resign for being mayor, but he didn't commit a crime. And a lot of folks is upset because he's speaking truth to power, especially against those that are bringing illegal migrants, illegal people to the city of New York. And by law, due to his predecessor, he have to feed them, give them shelter, and he can't deport them according to the law. And when he started to speak up against, President Biden and the government, the federal government, now you see this accusation picking up legs. Let's be clear. This is an election year, and this crisis is bankrupting New York, is bankrupting Chicago, so many of these Black-led cities. And Mayor Eric Adams said, listen, we got to call out the federal government because he have spent billions with a B, and he only got a couple of $1 million from the government, from the federal government. This is a federal issue. The borders is open, and he's a Democrat, Black Democrat. He had said on Angela Yee that the borders are open. These are open borders. And it's definitely destroying New York. New York is already dealing with poverty. They're dealing with high costs of rent, rat-infested, crime on the trains, crime on public transit all in the city. And their governor decided to dispatch the National Guard to bring down the crime. They also have a migrant crisis. But who is paying for that? The taxpayers in New York. New York is paying for it. And already the people in New York have to make almost $300 an hour to afford shelter. Apartments is very expensive. You have people that live in New York. I know someone living in New York, work 7 days a week. They only get the rest on a Sunday. They go to one job working 8 hours, sleep on the train, on the bus, go work another 8 hours, then go work somewhere else just to afford living in New York. That's how expensive New York, especially if you want to stay in a beautiful part of the city where it's economically there and less crime. You have to spend a lot of time at work. And this is hard for people. And now you having people with no rights. They're illegal. They came to this country illegally, and they're getting resources upon resources. I feel that the city of New York, City Council, have failed their citizens. There's no way in hell that they should have passed an ordinance to give these illegals shelter. It should be a new ordinance in the city of New York, in the city of Chicago. Throw away the sanctuary city. You come here, we will deport you back. They're doing it to the people in Haiti. President Biden administration is deporting those black folks from Haiti. I'm going to say it one more time. They're deporting the people from Haiti. I'm going to say it another time. They are deporting the folks from Haiti. So if they're deporting the people from Haiti, why are we allowing these people from Venezuela to come here, from Mexico to come here, from all parts of those Spanish-speaking countries come here? Because they are deporting the black folks from Haiti. And if it ain't good for the Haitian people to be here because they came here illegally, we must deport all illegal people that came to this country illegally. If my brothers from Haiti is not allowed to stay in this country, work and get food and shelter, free apartments and vouchers, then it's not good for the people from Venezuela, from Mexico, from any part of their countries to come here. They should be deported back to where they came from. If it's not good for my black brothers and sisters from Haiti, then the rest of the people that come in, deport them back as well. And see, the reason why I'm calling it out, President Biden and Kamala Harris, because, again, if you are dragging the Haitian people back to their native land because they came in illegally, okay, it's the law. But we must follow the law with everybody. There should not be an aggression on the black folks from Haiti, and then we're giving sympathy to the light-skinned, half-white illegals that come to this country. And let's be clear, New York, it was a sister in New York, and Tariq Nasheed post on his ex, it was illegal, tried to snatch the purse of a black woman, and he didn't understand that this black woman know how to throw them hands. So she proceeded to defend her property in herself and decided to use her Muhammad Ali fist against that illegal entity. And he was saying in Spanish, I'm sorry, and whatever how he said, he was begging for mercy in Espanol. But why did you think it was okay to snatch the purse of a black woman? And again, I personally feel that every government entity, if you took an oath, your job is to defend the Constitution and stand up for citizens first. I wouldn't have an issue giving illegals apartments and food and shelter if you were doing it for American citizens. There's plenty American citizens that have food insecurity, housing insecurity, healthcare insecurity. And if we're not urging with speed to give American citizen housing, food, assistance, then we shouldn't be doing it for illegal people. There is millions of black folks that would love to get vouchers from the government, rental assistance, food assistance, job placement assistance. Who would want that deal? And we American citizens. Why are we giving it to people that don't speak English, broken the law? Why are we giving them everything? That's twisted up. And this is why I tell folks when you go to the ballot, don't just yell and scream, vote. Only thing you're doing to make a lot of noise, if you want to make some things happen, vote these people out that don't want to do for you and your interests. And you need to call your senator and you ask them on the phone. Sir, ma'am, why do you think it's okay to give these folks shelter and housing and food? What about American citizens? You need food security. There's plenty of people with children have to spend a lot of money on daycare costs. Won't you love the government to help you assist you with daycare costs? They're doing it for the illegals. Why can't they not do it for the American citizens? Especially those American citizens that did not break the law, that did not come and broke and came in illegally. Everything is legal. They never broke in the law, and they're not getting a handout from the government, but the government is giving a handout to people that have broken the law. And so, to Mayor Eric Adams for calling it out, now he got an allegation that he Me Too'd a woman back when he was a police officer in 1992. That was in the 20th century. We are now in 2024 in the 21st century. We're in a whole new century, and some woman is accusing this black man of those vicious crimes. But you didn't really hear about it until he starts standing up and asking for a check from the government. Now these allegations, poof, came up. But again, sanctuary cities is going to hurt black people first. Say it again. Sanctuary cities, anytime illegals invade our country, our cities, who resources gonna go to them first? The black resource. They're supposed to go to black folks. That's poor. It's going to them. Now, already the poor black people in the city of Chicago and New York really didn't get their proper resources. They've been on a waiting list, and some are still on the waiting list today. And yet, people from another country get to get an apartment, get to get a stipend, food, medical care. And here you are struggling health-wise. You're struggling to get an apartment. You're struggling to feed you and your family. But folks invaded this country illegally. Get all that and some. Cell phones, hot showers, 3 meals a day. The public school system, especially in Chicago, have to get Spanish-speaking teachers. Your children been struggling in them schools forever. They would love to learn how to speak Espanol, but they would tell you we can't afford to do bilingual classes. But now that these illegals invaded your city, now the Chicago public school system is hiring teachers that speak Spanish. This is why I tell my black brothers and sisters to do not just create noise, just to be creating noise. We must create action. We must call out these people that think it's okay to give them resources and give us absolutely nothing. They should not get our vote. They should not get our hand. And to our president, President Biden, and on this issue, I know you have failed this issue. And to the Republican Party that is in power in Congress, you all are so evil that President Biden and many of the people in the Senate that are Republican have brokered a deal, an immigration bill that will help fix this broken immigration system. I believe it was the most conservative bill you could ever get. But because y'all are loyal to Trump, that in so many indictments, you all said, no, we're not going to fix the immigration problem. I just think it's foolish that you all have a problem. You don't want to fix it because you're loyal to Trump. You want Trump to win. Then you got a person in the House, Taylor Greene, Marjorie Taylor Greene. She filed something in the House that she want to call for the removal of the Speaker of the House because he broker a deal, the spending bill, I believe over $1 trillion, and there was no money for the border. But you already know that Trump don't want any money for the border because he wanted to be a mess because that's what he's going to run on in the general election. But she filed to get the speaker removed. If this happened, that will be yet another speaker that have been removed within the first 2 years of the Republicans having control of the House. That's a disaster. But the Republican Party is so divided, it's only a handful that can cause chaos because they have a slim majority in the House, very slim. So about 3 or 4 people can derail the entire process. And because their original speaker, he brokered a deal to get installed, that one person can challenge the speakership and call for a vote to remove you from power. Oh, that's so wicked. And so when I talk with people, and especially my brothers, my black brothers and sisters about politics, they always look at the president, but I also tell them there's a lot of power that goes on in the House of Representatives. You got to look at the House. You got to look at the Senate. That's a very powerful body that's not getting enough press, and a lot of folks not educated on that power. That's a lot of power there. It's a lot of power there. You must know your representative. You must know the power that they hold in that body. That's a very powerful body. A lot of people bypass that and they be looking at Biden. But you got to understand, Biden really can't do nothing without the House because they got the check. They passed the budget. The Senate, the House, and a lot of them that have been in there for years will tell the president, we've been here. We're going to be here when you gone. At best, you're going to be here 8 years. I've been here 40. At best. At best. At best. They would tell the president, whomever is in office, especially those, I call them career politicians that have been in there for about 10, 20, 30 years. They would tell the president, listen, we've been here. We're going to be here when you're gone. And so that's why a lot of presidents got to know how to maneuver in the Senate and also the House, because a lot of the people that's been there for more than 20 years. And they do have a lot of influence, a lot of power, a lot of things that they use. And so Eric Adams is dealing with a system that is designed for New York to be broken. It's designed for Chicago to be broken. That's one of the most powerful base for the Democratic Party. New York, Chicago, California, those are major power base for the Democratic Party. If it's chaos in those cities, then that's a way for the Republicans to take over those cities. And that's the long-term plan. But the Democrats, honestly, I believe they want this to come out because they think we're going to be in office. We want to open up citizenship. And if they open up citizenship and allow those illegal to become citizens, it's a theory that they're using. I'm not saying it's going to be real, just a theory. That if they pass a law to make the fast track them to become citizens, they could become eligible to vote. And they feel like they will be dedicated voting bloc for the Democratic Party. So everybody have an interest for these illegals being here. Republicans got an interest. We want them here so we can take over and black folks can be discouraged to vote. And then we win. Democrats feel like this is a long-term plan. We welcome in here because we're going to, taking off the House and the Senate, we could propose a bill for a fast-track citizenship so they could become voters, and then we can guarantee to stay in power for the next 100 years. So everybody have a plan of what they want to do with the illegals. And the people that's out the plan is the black folks that's already citizens. It's already citizens. And this is why black folks got to wake up. The NAACP, the Urban League, all of these the Freemasons, all the Divine Nine, every single so-called black organization have to educate the black people and tell them the power and tell them the plan. I'm going to tell you the plan. The plan is for us to continue to get screwed. That's the plan. The plan, they want us to be distracted with celebrity gossip and don't look at the plan of us getting replaced. And we got to be up there. We got to be in tune. We got to call it out, and we got to really, really have people in there that's going to fight for our interests. And this is about our interests. This is about our agenda. Who is for our interests? Who is going to fight for us? And this is why we'll be in the next broadcast more that's coming up. I'm gonna tell you the people that'll be good for Texas, good for New York, good for California. These people that's not good, that should be voted out, that have not done good at all. I'm gonna tell you who voted yes for what bill, who voted no. Media don't do that. They need to put the picture up of this congressperson or this senator and say this person voted yes for this, and this person voted no. You need to know that. You need to know who's voting yes to help you and who's voting no to take away your rights. The media don't do enough of that. They don't show people enough. Like they showing Eric Adams with his allegations. Okay, let's throw Eric Adams out. Let's also show people that have voted no to increase the minimum wage. Let's also show people that voted no to help Medicaid expansion to help you. Let's also showcase the people that say no to help with rent control. Let's also broadcast them too. Let's make them famous too. Because at the end of the day, that is what's harming you, not these allegations with Eric Adams. What's harming you is these people that sit in this office, sitting in the chamber, saying no to your growth. And that's why you are going through pure hell at your jobs, because the laws is designed for you to go through that hell. Now, if you had a group of people that pique your interest, can change the entire thing. That's why we got to educate. Voter education is very important. And this is why Biden must educate. But they don't want you to be educated. They want you to be stupid. Because stupid people, we can control. We can dominate. We can steal from stupid people. But smart, intelligent, politically aware folks, we got to move a certain way. That will challenge. They don't like to talk to people that know every bill that they have vote no or yes, and you challenge them on it. They don't like it when you talk to a person and say, well, on page 12, you put on that paragraph to forbid me to get a raise, blah, 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 blah. They don't like to talk to them type of people. They don't like to go to them type of shows where you, whatever you sign, you bring up the bill. Okay, Senator, sir, you did propose that bill, correct? Oh, yes, I did. Well, can we talk about, one second, on page 14, paragraph, the third paragraph, can you explain to me what that means? And you already know the answer, but you want to make sure. And they go, hello, sir, but can you answer that? Why you been in office 10 years, you always voted no for minimum wage? Do you think minimum wage should at least be $10.10 instead of $7.25? You got to ask these people that. But they don't want you to be educated about that. They don't want you to be educated about the funding, about the grants, about Medicaid expansion, or how important that is. They don't want you to be educated about that. They want you to be talking about Cardi B, Nicki, Eric Adams allegations. But what about the power? Because after you get through talking about that, New York, the city, is still passing bills to fund powerful people, and poor folks are still suffering. The city council, his city council, can pass an ordinance today and say, you know what? We're going to bring the sanctuary city to the voters and let the voters vote yes or no to it. If they vote no, then let's throw away the sanctuary city. Meaning that if you come to New York, we will work with the federal agents to deport you back. They still keep in New York a sanctuary city. Who is it hurting? Black folks. When Eric Adams, let's put his picture, let's throw away them allegations for a second. when he wanted to put the illegal people in a white neighborhood, you know what the white folks did when they build that shelter in a white neighborhood? They protested. Not only did they protest, they sued New York. Then the judge said, you can't put them in this area. We're going to get a temporary restraining order. They still try to do it. Them white folks was protesting. They was loud. You ain't welcome in my neighborhood. Get out of my neighborhood. Get out. Kids was out there yelling, screaming. They told the mayor, we don't want them in our neighborhood. They said it right there in that area. They challenged and sued the city. Let's go to Chicago. They tried it. This black couple, a husband and wife, black, sued the city of Chicago, said, we don't want them in South Shore. We don't want them in our high school. We don't want them. That's our resource. And they sued the city. So people is waking up. It's no different when I was watching Shirley Chisholm, the movie. And she was the first African-American woman to run for president. So Congresswoman from New York. She decided to run for president in the 70s. And they did not want her to debate. They said, you can't debate, blah, blah, blah. So Shirley Chisholm told her team, sue the networks, all the big three networks, ABC, CBS, sue them. Sue them? She said, yes. So she sued the network. This white college student, he was taking law class. He went to the clinic and to the law clinic on his college campus, and they explained to him, well, if you lose, that's a win because it can go to the appellate court. But if the appellate court agreed with you, this can help Shirley Chisholm. If you don't, this can harm. So he went on to the appellate court, agreed that she have to be on this debate stage. And I believe ABC gave her like 30 minutes uninterrupted, gave her a 30-minute interview. And the reason why I go back to that is because this is why black folks that get in power, you get the good ones that give you the tea of how to maneuver in this system. And that iconic move, it helped her, even though she didn't win, but it birthed that, wow, the possibility of a black woman can become president if you have a great message, if you know how to campaign, if you know how to raise money, if you know how to maneuver. And for her to dominate in that era in the 70s, that's like a couple of years after Dr. King deletion and after many other our leaders was deleted in the 60s, for her to run was an iconic, legendary move. And I think everybody needs to read about Shirley Chisholm and watch that biopic on Netflix. But when I come back to 2024, it's still the same issue of people trying to take away our rights, don't want us to have a voice, and they want us to be uneducated. They want us to just create noise with no action. No, you got to have an action plan. And that's something in this generation where we must act and we must know what goes on in City Hall. This is why in the city of Chicago, the mayor there, his press team, they removed us from the email list. Now, we was getting updates about what the mayor was doing. They removed us. They're not answering our emails. We want to sit in the office, the press pool to ask him some questions. So you know what I did? I created more noise. And I said, hey, to the mayor. I tagged him on Twitter. I said, I don't believe that the mayor is an ally and a friend to Black-owned media. If he is, why is I'm being prevented of getting press credentials to be in City Hall when I have a Black-owned show, when I talk to Black people every single day, and I'm Black, born and raised in Chicago? Why can I not be in there and ask the mayor some questions? Why can I not question him about his so-called Bring Chicago Home that have failed, his so-called tax plan, his so-called safety plan that is failing the city of Chicago, his so-called investments that he said he's going to bring multiple investments to the South and the West Side, which have not happened yet. And so I will continue to fight. And if we have to take it a step further, legally, we will. Because I feel like you should not prevent Black-owned media to come to question people in power. The people need to know what is going on in City Hall. Not by just CBS, NBC, because they're limited on what they talk about. They're not going to talk to Black people in a way for them to understand or what is going on to prevent them from getting A, B, and C. They need to know the alderwomen and aldermen that is doing for them, and they also need to know those that are not doing for them, that need to be removed and vote out of office. So you need to be there. And somebody needs to be in the hallway, so when they see you coming, you ask the question, hey, Alderman such and such, why did you vote against this ordinance to help your black constituents in your ward? Hey, Alderman so-and-so, why did you vote against this? When I had a chance to interview, give me 1 second. When I was outside, we did a peace. It was a peace march, and Brother Muhammad, he called, inviting me to come, and I went, and the alderman was there. Alderman Lopez was there. And we asked Alderman Lopez, I said I had a question, and we started talking, I had multiple questions. I asked him about the sanctuary city. I asked him about the city, about, the migrants, and about how he didn't agree with them getting all the resources. I kept asking questions after question after question, because he was so shocked. Oh, I thought you were just going to ask me one question. No, bro, I'm asking you a couple of more questions. And then he followed me on Twitter. And then I had more questions for him. And I said, I want to get you on another interview because I got some more information that I do want to ask you. And where do you stand? And what is your thoughts on this? And the reason why I like to ask questions publicly, because you are a public figure. And I want people to understand the power that goes on in City Hall. Because they have to understand how they move and how the backdoor deals and how dirty it can get. But somebody from media have to go educate the black folks that is on the outside of what's going on the inside. They have to educate. And the reason why a lot of black folks are just not that in tune with politics is because it's so simple. They feel that politicians have not done enough for them to feel that they have gotten something from the deal. They don't feel like they gotten enough. And I agree. It's more that should be done for the abandoned buildings in New York, the rat-infested neighborhoods in New York, the rat-infested, dirty, abandoned buildings in Chicago. And so we must also broadcast and talk about that stuff over and over again, because we can't stop. And we must educate, and we must show the resources of them and what is going on. And the city of New York is failing the black people. It's failing the black people. It's failing black New Yorkers. And the reason why are you just talking about black people? Because number one, I am a black-owned media company. My interest is for black folks. My voice, I'm talking to my people. If anybody else, y'all get somebody that's going to stand for y'all. But the problem is they want black media folks just to speak for everybody. No, I'm not. That ain't with me. What keep me up at night is how to make it better for my black brothers and sisters, my nieces who are black, and I stand up for them. And the power of black-owned media is needed. And the reason why we was able to get what we got is because of the work of the black-owned media companies, the black-owned newspaper, the freedom papers, that from all the way from Frederick Douglass, all the way down to the black papers in Chicago, the black newspaper from Baltimore, the black newspapers in all over. It was black media that really called truth to power, to the point back in World War I or World War II, the government wanted to arrest black-owned media, these black journalists, because they was broadcasting and exposing the lynching that was going on back in the 20th century. And the government was like, we got to arrest y'all for treason, only because the black journalists was speaking truth to power. Speaking truth to power. And so this is why you must study black-owned giants, black-owned media giants, and use that in 2024, because back then they did not have social media. Now they only had grassroots where you had to sell newspaper and knock on doors. They didn't have Twitter, Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat. They didn't have any of that back in the day. That didn't exist. It was mailing at best and knocking on doors, word of mouth at best. So that's why I'm calling it out. And Mayor Adams, I feel like it is something bigger. And I'm looking at what he was talking about. Again, to my point about Mayor Adams, he was saying to his constituents, say, hey, it's against the law for me to do. It's the law. By law, I have to do this. And the federal government needs to do more. I'm glad he said it. Because a lot of people just want to it's just a Mayor Adams. He has failed the city. No, the federal government can do more. But if you know anything about the federal government, they really can't do anything right. Well, what the president can't, he got to get it from the Congress. And Congress ain't willing to write no check to help black-owned cities, Democrat cities. They ain't going to do it. If they do, they're not going to do that. Why would we, to those Republicans, why would they help struggling black cities? Democrat, their sole job, we want to be back in office in 2025. We want the White House. We want the Senate. We want more seats in the House. We want more seats in the state houses across the nation. They have lost a lot of their gains due to Trump failed picks that he wanted to represent his message. A lot of his candidates have failed because they was too extreme to the mainstream voters. It was just too extreme, and he tried it, and all of them pretty much lost. So that's why the Republicans got a slim majority in the House, and they did not take over the Senate because of Trump. His so-called MAGA candidates, they were whack. They was too whack. They trying to be like Trump. Yeah, Trump is great in a certain aspect, but he did lose, and that message may not work in Arizona. It may not work in the state of Philadelphia. It may not work in the state of Michigan. So you got to know how to have a tailored message in that particular state, especially if you're running for Senate. So you got to be careful. A lot of them MAGA people, they flopped. They got whooped because they tried to be like Trump. We only got one Trump, we need another one with a wig. And that's why they lost multiple seats. And then they just lost another seat in New York. The one that lied, he got caught up in so many lies and finance broke so many laws. He lost, and now Democrat got that seat in New York. So now they're a majority in the House, even slimmer. So we can go on and on. We can go on and on and on and on and on. And so we will continue to stand up for what is right. And what is right, black people want representation. They want resources. They want to be able to get a check. The same resource y'all give it to them illegal immigrants. And I've told the city of Chicago, I said, why can't you not give it to black Chicagoans that need housing? Where's they stipend? Where's they check? Where's these nonprofit organizations for black people that are suffering in Chicago? Crickets. No response from the city of Chicago. Crickets. But y'all giving it to people that don't speak English. Pookie, Ray Ray, Miss Barbara, Samuels, Sam, Brianna, Keisha, Larisha. They want checks too. What they checks? They would love to get 6 months rent paid where they can get on their feet. If anybody should be able to get it, should be the black people. We helped build the city of Chicago. We helped build this country. Where's our help in hand? Come on, somebody. Crickets. I guess they said, uh-oh, we got to take this black man off the email list. We don't want no more questions for this black man. He too real for us. He asks us very direct questions for the $9,000 housing allowance. And he talked too much. He off the email list. Good, but I still can call, and I'm still leaving voicemails, and I still reach out to all the alderman people all in the city. I ain't going to stop. You may remove me from an email list, but you can't stop me from dialing them numbers and leaving voicemails and calling y'all every day, Monday to Friday. I know all y'all schedules. I know all those, and I keep leaving letters. And you can keep saying no, but that make me go stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And I come back. And then when you open up this type of ordinance, you want to open this up for this, this, and this, and this. I let the people know in Chicago, hey, they're doing this. This ain't right. It's going to harm you. And I call these the black ones out. I come at them hard because they black. I don't play. You black. You can't get lazy and don't do right. Don't you get in here trying to scam you black. I'm going to call you out first. Get a backbone in that city hall. And I call out Mayor Johnson because he's black. And I said in this inauguration, he was talking about the soul of Chicago. I said, brother, the soul you talk about, you erasing the soul of black folks by giving checks to illegal people. So I called Mayor Johnson out first. I had an attorney on my show. He said, Wiley, give him a chance. I said, I can't not give him a chance. That's the problem. We want to wait. No. Day one, he needs to do his job for black people. It's been a year, a little piece over a year. He have done worse than Lori Lightfoot. COVID money. Give me a second. That the federal government gave to the city of Chicago for COVID. He took it. I want to give it to the migrants. No, that money is for citizens in Chicago. That's their money. That ain't for no illegal people. You better go call Mexico and Venezuela and tell them to write a check. That's for the citizens in Chicago. That's not for them. No. And didn't even want to talk to the representative. Alderman Lopez said he didn't even call us and tell us. Some of them didn't even know they had that much money in the bank from the federal government. All these wicked people, and they so-called black. Just because they black, you got some black evil ones in office too. America first. I'll be on them. So we're going to talk about it some more. And this is why I'm glad I got my own show where I can dedicate 40 some odd minutes to politics. We're going to move on, Eric Adams. I got your back, brother. But if I find out that you lied to me and to the black people, I'm going to be standing in New York City, knocking on doors, saying, we got to vote you out, sir. You're going to be a one-term president, one-term mayor in New York. You in that suit and tie. And the mirrors got to hit the door. So I'm going to be on your side for right now. But if I find out you lied and you me too that lady, you out as the mayor. And we're going to be there doing a live show, knocking on doors from Brooklyn to the Bronx to every part of New York City. Get you out of there. I'm a family candidate that's going to do a good job for New Yorkers. Don't play with me. You better not lie to me. Tell me the truth. Because if you lie, it's gonna be a problem. Because you got to go. I don't play that. You can't be out there me tooing people and think you're gonna stay in that seat. Nope. We're gonna vote you out. If I had to call everybody in New York to tell them, vote now, recall him out of there. I'm not going to play.